this movie was incredibly inspiring and everything that you would want it to be. I wanted to be his neighbor. Like, really. Won't You Be My Neighbor is the documentary that is about Fred Rogers, who was, of course, the host of one of my favorite childhood classic morning television shows on PBS, which was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I have just had such a huge respect for Fred Rogers that from watching those that I'm like, wow, I mean, I always liked him, but I never really like had this much of a draw to him. But there's several different parts in this movie that everyone was crying. And it was really interesting to go into the press screening for this one because you looked around, though it didn't have anybody outside of the press that came, and so you just looked around to see like who else would be signing up to come see this, because generally it's going to get a really good rollout, which is awesome, and I'm very happy to hear that from Focus. But I was really intrigued to see who showed up for this, because you're just looking around and generally you're getting like early like 30s to like 40s or so of the people, but it's just generally that demographic, and everyone in there just seemed so glued to the screen the whole time. This was a man that was a really big part of our lives. I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, like, he was there, and you know who Fred Rogers was. You watched The Neighborhood of Make Believe. You know who King Friday the 13th was, and Daniel the Lion. Like, it's just all these really cute things. I remember waking up and watching this movie when I was like, watching this show when I was like maybe sick or something, or maybe it was just a day when I wanted something a little bit slower. I just wanted to like kind of take it in, and he was just so mesmerizing. I really enjoyed that show growing up, and obviously it wasn't the show that like got everybody like, oh my gosh, did you see the new Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? But the thing is, this documentary showed that in the beginning, people were saying that because, wow, he had guts. Wow. I feel like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood was one of those staples, but not just because it was always there, but he had such a purpose in his programming. He wrote all of the scripts. He produced everything. This was his show. And I love that because I want to be more like him as I watch this. He felt that one of the biggest things that he felt was that I want to do something great with this television medium, and I want to be something that makes a difference in somebody's lives. And like, I'm just thinking about he wanted to make sure that you were loved. He wanted to make sure that you knew that it was okay, that, you know, things were a little bit difficult growing up, but somebody loved you. And my favorite quote, it was from him as he's doing a speech for a college, and he's just saying, I want you to know that you don't have to do anything spectacular to be loved. And that just, it hit so strong, and I love him for it. And he was such an advocate for using whatever platform you have. And so I see it also as, okay, I'm looking at YouTube as one of those platforms. It is a platform that we all have, whether you are the one making content or you're the one commenting on it. Like, what are you leaving behind? What are you showing the world? And how are you making it a better place? And I just thought this, of all movies, is so needed today. And by the end, it just felt like, man, I have hope that things can get better. As you know, you look around and there's so much negative in the world. There's so many bad things that just hurt your heart and hurt everything about you. It gives you this feeling of like despair, hopelessness. But after watching this documentary and knowing that, you know, there's somebody like him and others out there, and I want to be more like him, and it looks like these people all got the same thing that I did from it, which means we all kind of want to have the same goals as well. So it just left such a positive feeling throughout everyone, and everyone was so enthralled with it all. So anyway, this movie is coming to theaters, and I want you to make sure that you get tickets. I want you to make sure that you go, and definitely bring some Kleenex with you, because whew, it gets you. Like, wow. And before you go, I mean, even if you don't go see it, which I really, really, once again, really hope that you do, 5 out of 5 stars for me. This was just amazing. I want you to think, like, what are you doing to make this world, as corny as it sounds, because I know it sounds corny, but it's like, what are you doing to make somebody else's life better? And just take it all off of you, the focus off of you, and put it on others and where it needs to be. Anyway, all right. I love you all. I'm grateful for you all, and that you would take the time to watch this review. So thank you. You're special too. I actually mean that. Like, I really do want that to not sound as corny as it does, but I do. All right. Bye. Hey, I also wanted to let you guys know that I'm a singer, and on my personal page, which is going to be put up right here, ooh, look how pretty. I would love for you guys to help me out. I'm trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers on there, so if you guys want to hear more songs, I'll be posting a lot more very shortly.